What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell is Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Throw the deuces. There you go, baby.
Hey, well, to all boys and girls, how you doing out there? Good evening and welcome to KHI with Christopher James, our BKFC 16 post-fight show. Happy to have you jump in with me, man. I'm going to have a couple of guests jump in here in just a moment. But first of all, man, what a nice card, man. We saw some good action. Excuse me, good fights. I definitely enjoyed it. Didn't get bloody till the end. I'm going to post a picture up here in just a minute of how bloody it was. If you didn't see the end, they showed a nice comparison shot. So we're going to share that with you guys as well. Please share this out with all your friends and family and all your groups and all that good stuff. And we are going to get right into it right now. I got two guests joining us. One of them is here right now, and the other one will be here shortly. So joining us right now, he is the man from Combat Insiders. He is the founder of the only legitimate database of bare knuckle facts and figures and stats. My man from Combat Insiders. And it's called Knucklepedia. If you see any other Knucklepedia or bullshit, it's bullshit. This is the original, the real deal, the innovator, the educator, the man himself, Josh Fers. Josh, what's up, Bubba?
Well, I appreciate that. By the way, check out cgrams.com, promo code Knucklepedia, and you'll get 20% off your next case. I appreciate that introduction, Mr. Christopher James. I appreciate it. That's right, Knucklepedia.com. The original. There are apparently there's a couple duplicators out there now, but not the real deal. What's up, buddy?
Often imitated, never duplicated. I mean, that's what happens there. It's fucking nuts. I can't believe, and for you guys, just before we get into the fight card, Josh put up a post the other day. He was looking for a lawyer because somebody had the audacity. Wow, you're all out of focus. That's weird. Up there, now you're back. I think it was when you had the water up. It was really weird. You went all blurry on me. Or maybe I'm high. I don't know. So Josh put up a post the other day looking for an attorney to help him with, was it copyright or trademark?
Trademark stuff, yeah. So,
then you can tell a story real quick. So yeah. He said he put that up, and whenever Josh puts up a post like that, I always mess him and go, "Uh-oh, what happened now?" Because somebody always be fucking with Josh. So apparently somebody out there decided to take Knucklepedia and call it Bare Knucklepedia, and then all the content there is all from Combat Insiders and the original Knucklepedia. So I hope there's a lawsuit coming. But anyway, give us a little breakdown of that situation, then we'll get into this fight card tonight.
Man, I don't want to spend too much time on it to take away from the card, but
okay, dude, because this is important stuff because people need to know that you shouldn't fucking fuck with people.
Yeah, it's just stupid, and the only reason why I found out because I have it set up on my site to where basically when people pull stuff from my site, links or copy and paste stuff, there's like an alert because there's a plugin you can download with WordPress, and that's a whole nother conversation to get all technical and shit and nerdy, but there's this plugin I use and it lets me know, and not only does it let me know, it also pings the person's fucking IP address that copies this stuff. So it sends me this alert saying something bareknucklepedia.com, and I'm like, the fuck is this shit? So I click on it, and long and behold, it's like you said, Bare Knucklepedia, right? But when you go on it, it literally it's my site, but it's on their pages.
Yeah, they stole everything.
I mean, I guess if you want to look at the glass half full, the YouTube links I still get the hits off of, so I thank you, sort of. I don't even know how to, maybe it's a form of flattery, maybe it's I don't know, man. I've talked to a couple people. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what to do, but apparently this is they're called a scraper site, and it's actually pretty common with just different things where people usually in foreign countries make these bootleg sites, and they can just pretty much scrape the info and get what little hits off of they can.
Scumbags.
Yeah, no, it's a fucking scumbag move. Like, because you know how, because we've had these conversations before. You know how big of a how big I am into like people who fucking steal content. You know, how hard you work, how hard I work, how hard a lot of us work to come up with our own original content. It's not fucking easy just to get on here and talk for 2 hours. It might seem easy, but you know, doing this shit all the time, like it's there's some work to it, right? And to have fucking scumbags just come in and steal the shit or just steal somebody else's stuff and post it as their own. In terms of this world, in the media world, it's like one of the biggest sins to me that someone could do. So it's plagiarism.
100%. So guys, if you're out there trying to keep up with the content, go to the original Knucklepedia.com. All the stats are always updated by Josh. They're always on point. He keeps perfect records. So, you know, if you want the real info, go to the real place, Knucklepedia.com, a subsidiary of Combat Insiders. I
like that.
Speaking of guys that work hard or guys that don't work hard, I don't know if he works hard. Does he work hard? I don't know, man. He might be too busy out there polishing them red rims. We're going to bring him in right now, man. I see him smiling in the green room. We're going to bring him in right now. My man, the one and only Mr. Brian Maxwell joining us on the show. Mr. Red Rim, if you will. What's up, Mr. Red Rim?
What's up, fellas?
Mr. Red Rims.
Red Rims.
Yes, sir. The Red Rims are officially back, starting to right now.
Love it.
I had my black ones.
On your bicycle? Is that what we're talking about? Or on your whip?
No, my glasses. Like I've been rocking my black ones for a while now, for like the past year. And you know, Mr. Red Rims is officially back.
Love
and it's game time.
I got my glasses, they're black and gray to match my beautiful hair. If you look, you can see it's like a wood grain kind of thing in there. I don't know how close up I can get to where you can actually see it.
The salt and pepper look, Chris. The salt and pepper.
That's what I was about to say, the salt and pepper look.
Glasses match my hair, you know, so if I can, I can always find them. Or if I leave them on my head, I lose them. It doesn't matter. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Post-fight show, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC 16. Tonight's show brought to you by Just Heart Apparel and Just Heart Apparel East Coast. My man Andrew Sam's doing lots of good things for lots of good people in the combat sports community. With that being said, we're going to jump into this card. And so how many fights did we end up with there total, man? Because I lost count.
Hey, I lost count too. Like
10
total. All right. So I started
unless there was one that wasn't aired. But as far as aired fights, it was 10.
Yeah, because I saw 3 on Facebook. Well, actually, I watched them all on the BKTV app. But there were 3 on Facebook, and the rest of the card was on the BKTV app. So, and that was awesome. Stream was good tonight.
The app is in the background. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my motherfucker. That's right, man. But the stream was good. There was no buffering tonight, no glitches, no audio. There was a couple of audio issues where sometimes doing the backstage interview, the mic cut out. Yeah. But, excuse me, shit happened. So, let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Josh is going to tell us about the first fight and open the show. He's like, son of a bitch.
All right. No, it's fine. So the open the show was Ryan Jones against Eric Thompson. I think what Eric Thompson was talking about on the promos, how he was going to knock out Ryan in like 30 seconds or something, or 2 minutes, or something really arrogant. And Ryan Jones, man, he took him to town. Chris is getting taken to town too. Whatever the fuck he's smoking over there. Ryan took Eric to task. TKO. Thompson, he didn't want to continue at the end of the second round. I mean, it's a pretty clear cut fight. It was a good way to. I thought it was a good fight to start off the show, start off the prelims.
Yep. Homie said he was going to knock him out in 30 seconds, and
that's
30 seconds. And I was watching the fight, and I was like, son of a, just kind of fucking, I don't know. There was something weird about that fight.
He kept falling, like throwing power punches and slipping and busting his ass and shit.
Yeah. That was that guy, right? That kept slipping and
Yeah.
falling. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Referee Wayne Spinola was calling some of those knockdown slips, and they were knockdowns because there were punches connected. I was not very happy with that because
there were some weird calls tonight across the board.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. They come up in the fights. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah, babe, come get it. My wife heard me mom in the studio hit the bong. She goes, I want to hit the bong.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man.
Dude's losing a lung live on air.
His lung hurt.
Goodbye.
Oh. Lord.
So in that fight, it was crazy. It was like, I couldn't believe that some of those, like I said, slips were knockdowns were called slips. If you connect and the fighter falls, even if he stumbles, that's a knockdown. And it didn't matter because the right guy won. Woo, that was good shit. 36% THC from my favorite dispensary. Wow, good stuff. Oh yeah, that's fine. You ain't been on here before. Yeah, this is what I do on my show. I get high, hang out with the peeps, talk some shit. So
ain't nothing wrong with it.
Oh no, there ain't nothing wrong with it. So we get through that fight, and so let's see. And then after that, I think we had Diaz and Ruggieri, correct?
No, sir. We had Zion Thompson versus Hill.
Yeah.
So Zion Thompson Sr. and Tyler Hill. Now, I had Zion on my show last week. Very confident young man. I felt pre-fight that he might just be taking Tyler Hill a little too lightly. Not saying that I didn't believe that Zion could win the fight, but he's 21 and he's not overly experienced yet. So when you come out like that, I'm going, don't take your. I even said to him, don't take your opponent lightly because Tyler Hill's a seasoned veteran. But Zion didn't give a shit, did he? Brian, tell us about it. I know that's your boy.
Yeah, that is my boy, man. Like I'm super, super, super proud of Zion. He did, like, when me and him talked Sunday was his last hard day in the gym. And, usually at the end of our fight camps, we, that Sunday before the fights is the day that we really find out who the fuck we are going into a fight.
Yeah.
And, I told Zion Sunday, we got into later rounds and, I was like, don't blow your wad, Zion. Don't blow your wad. It's going to be there. And, what I've been working on him with a lot is sprinting. I call it sprinting, where he just lets his hands loose and fucking just goes fucking nuts. And I told him, that if he did that and stayed true to that, even if it went to the later rounds or something, and he did that he would knock this guy out. Like, what he did to Tyler Hill is exactly what we finished working on Sunday. Like, I'm very proud of him. He did his thing, and no discredit to Tyler Hill. I mean, he made it. Hey, he made it tough for Zion in that first round a little bit because, I mean, he stood and banged with Zion, and he got hit a few times, and he brushed it off, and he got Zion a few times, and Zion caught him with that last one perfectly on that sprint that we worked on, and it finished him off. It put that cut on his eye and put that knuckle right in that eye, and that was it, man. I'm telling you that when you put a knuckle in somebody's eye, that'll either make or break you in a fight.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. Josh,
well, I was just going to ask, since you were around him, Brian, was he concerned with the weight? Because just going by the post, it seemed like he was slightly. Yeah, okay, I can tell. Okay, he was concerned about their weight going in right to fight week, because he was 2-something right at the beginning of the week.
No, he was like right there at 180 something, and
was it? Okay.
I told him Sunday, just relax, man. It'll fall off, and I told him how my regimen is, but my regimen is completely different. But I told him to take away a few things from Sunday to Wednesday, and that way to fall right off of him. And sometimes he'll listen and sometimes he won't, but he actually listened this time, and it fell right off of him. He had to beat himself up about it a little bit to get it off, but he made it. He did what he was contracted to do, and he made weight, and he refueled and all that good jazz. And like I said, I'm super proud of him. Like I told him years ago when I took him under my wing, in order to be the best 175 or 185, you have to train with the best 175 to 185. And in the state of Virginia, that is me as a fighter, as a complete fighter. And I told him, like I always tell him, if it's both of us, man, and we're in it together. And I'm going to push you just like you push me, but also I'm going to put you under my wing to show you the game too, because there's still a lot of things that he doesn't understand that I help him with. And tonight really showed me that he actually listened to what we actually been talking about. And, like I told him also too, I'm not going to be a dick rider like the other fake people around you. I'm going to keep it, realer with you than most people that hang with you. So, like I said, I'm super proud of Zion tonight. He went out there and did what not only him and his dad and other teammates worked on, but, what me and him worked on personally together too. So that's a proud moment, and congratulations to him.
Yeah. I felt he did a good job. He went out there, he executed the game plan. He got the first round finish.
Right off the scratch line. Right off the fucking scratch line.
Off the line.
Hey, by the way, that I had to stir the pot with him earlier. I told him, if he didn't get a first round win, that he had 30 leg kicks for me waiting for him when he got back. And now he owes me 30 when I get back into town from Alabama Sunday.
We have to tell him now, say, listen, you misunderstood me. I said, if you get a first round win, I'm giving you 30 leg kicks. Yay! But no, he did a good job. He went out there and represented.
Yes, big facts.
And he's coming out of his shell as far as interviews and stuff like that. So I'm glad to see him stepping up. We move on from that fight to Elvin Brito versus Brad Kelly. 165 fight. This fight went to a unanimous decision for Elvin Brito. Scores were 48-47, 50-45, and 49-47.
Yep.
I had the fight 50-45 for Brito. I felt he didn't lose a round. He didn't lose a step. He just outworked Brad Kelly straight up and won the fight. I mean, obviously, we all know he won. There was no doubt about that. I was a little bummed out about the scoring. 48-47, that's not the right score. Where did Brad Kelly win 2 rounds? And no disrespect to Brad, but that's just the reality. He didn't win 2 rounds. I don't think he won 1. So even the 49-47 to me was unjustified. Elvin should have had a 50-45 unanimous. My opinion. Josh, what's your thought on that one?
I mean, Elvin showed that, just like his last couple of fights, he's been, developing all his techniques. He's confident. He's smooth. He's fucking tough as nails. He's got that ability to, avoid getting punched. And they brought it up, in the commentary, like when he fought Luis, and Luis was frustrated, when he fought Elvin. And I mean, Luis still won the fight, but he was fucking frustrated because, Elvin, he's just weird, right? Some of the stuff, he's very elusive, right? Yeah, he's just not fucking there. I think Elvin, he just keeps improving. Brad didn't do a bad job. This was Brad's second fight, bare knuckle. So he still has a hell of a future ahead of him. So, I mean, hats off to him. He fucking, hanged in there with Elvin Brito, and hats off to him. But Elvin, I think he did what he said that he was going to do. The 165-pound division is going to get interesting. We had several fights tonight with the 65. So,
and we'll go through all those later on.
Yeah.
Mr. Red Rims, give me your quick take on that fight, Elvin and Brad Kelly.
Man, look, Brito, Elvin is one of the homies. He did a fantastic job. But Brad Kelly, I see where the ref scored it kind of one ref scored it kind of close, because that, if I'm correct, that it was the third round specifically. That was, I think that was a round that could have went either way. It was the third round for me. between those two guys. But you know, like I said, a different Elvin Brito showed up tonight, and you know, he definitely showed that he's been in the lab cooking and working his ass off, and you know, his movement looked a whole lot better. And you know, I can see where that's frustrated Brad Kelly a little bit, you know, and Brad wanted to counter him a lot. And, you know, when he would get ready to counter, Elvin would already be gone by them and hit them with another punch already. And, you know, hey, it was still a good fight. I thought that was going to be fight of the night for real. That was my first early candidate for fight of the night, and it showed until later on when there was other fight of the night candidates. So whoever gets fight of the night, I don't know who it's going to be. Like I can't even tell you which fight that would be tonight.
Oh, we're going to pick those at the end of this. At the end of this show, we're going to pick our fight of the night for each of us, our own individual fight of the night. Whoever gets fight of the night from any of us, you win nothing but accolades from us. Just so you know. Next, we move to the fourth fight. The champ, Joey Beltran's guy, David Diaz versus Spencer Rogeri. This one went to a majority decision, 47-47, 48-45, 48-45. That was a good fight, really good fight. Diaz was getting worked over in the first half of the fight, but he showed some intestinal fortitude, really dug deep. He's Mexican, and Mexican fighters don't fucking quit. Mexican fighters are harder than any fighter I've ever seen on the planet. No disrespect to any other nationality, but there's something about being a Mexican fighter, a boxer, that just it's in their DNA. And this kid went out there and closed the show in that fight. I mean, he really went out there and took control and won the fight. I had it 3 rounds to 2, straight up, you know, 48-47. I don't know. You know, the 48-45s, I'm not keen on. That means homie didn't win a round, and I don't agree with that at all. So, Mr. Red Rims, what's your take on that one?
I think what you're referring to when you say you don't think homie won round, I think it was because he kept turning his back, and you know, Diaz, that was pissing Diaz off. That would have pissed me off too, for real. But you know, he kept turning his back all those times.
Didn't they take a point away from him? Was that this fight?
No, he got a point taken away because of a backhand. He backhanded.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
But you know,
loud. I'm just gonna be honest. Bare knuckle, back fist, front knuckle. Fuck it.
But yeah, I think it was the, you know, turning his back and spinning around, turning his back was it for me. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I feel like they said he didn't win a round. But you know, it was super competitive.
So you're telling me, in your own eyes, you don't think that kid Spencer Rogeri won a round?
I mean,
did he drop Diaz in the first round?
I mean,
he did. He did. Put him on his ass.
But Diaz also, you know, rocked him in the first round too. But I don't know, like
the knockdown makes it a 10-8.
Yeah.
Boxing scoring, that makes it a 10-8. So right there's one round he won. So I'm gonna have to mute you for not paying attention. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
But I mean, it was still a good fight. It was still a competitive fight. You know, it was a learning process for both guys. Even though it was a hell of a scrap, it was still a learning process for both guys. And you know, ultimately Diaz got the win. And you know, Diaz looked like he was tired around the middle of the second round, but he took his 10 deep breaths and finished the fight off. You feel what I'm saying? So, hey, it was a good fight.
Two guys both making their pro combat sports debuts, which is a big deal. You know, I mean, both guys debuting. Both guys came from the tryouts, one from Kansas and one from the Phoenix tryout.
Phoenix,
Yep.
So you know, that's proof that the BKFC formula is starting to take effect. Josh, what was your quick take on that fight?
I mean, you know, I think Brian did a good job on that one, but I will just add this. I thought it was interesting because, you know, in the first couple rounds, I could see what, you know, you're saying, Chris. The first couple rounds, you know, I think the commentators were saying David. I don't know. David Diaz. Or was it right? It wasn't David. It was David. David. I don't know. But he looked
an Israeli thing.
Yeah, I mean, he looked a little awkward, you know, the first couple rounds, the way he was throwing, but you could definitely tell he's one of Beltran's guys because the fucking heart, man, the heart and the volume.
Oh yeah.
That's Beltran 101, right?
Yep.
Like that's school of Beltran is fucking heart and volume, and he showed that he could, persevere, and hats off to him.
Yep, and it was a good fight. Like I said, I was entertained with that fight, and that one also, that fight could have ended up with a fight of the night honor. I mean, that was a good fucking back and forth. So that's another contender right there for that one. We'll move on next to Adrian Miles and Jay Hook'em Fish. This one right here, before and I didn't put up my picks before this fight. I've had some family drama going on this week. And I got to head out of town tomorrow to take care of some stuff with my family. So, a little preoccupied. But I was like, well, let me watch the fight, get my head out and everything. And so I picked this fight, and I picked Fish. Even though I know Adrian Miles is a tough guy, and he brings a lot. He's got good hand speed. He's got good power in his hands. But there's something about Jay Fish. I announced him at Toe of the Line in Florida here last year. And when I talked to him and I met him and I watched him fight, I was like, this guy could go places in BKFC. He's a good he's got a good punch, packs power in it, and he's coming forward every time. He's not going to be backed up by anybody, I don't believe. And if somebody tries to back him up, he's just going to stand there and they're just going to get into a phone booth and fight. This was an excellent fight. Third round TKO finish for Jay Fish. He really started to put that power on and wore down Miles, and that was the end of that one. Josh, what you got?
I mean, yeah, that was a pretty self-explanatory fight, like you said. Jason Fish looked really good. Adrian Miles, now I think I think this makes him 0-3. His first two fights were really weird.
Yeah,
like the first one was like a weird DQ or something, and the second one,
it was all weird.
Yeah, so it's kind of a weird history with him. Like the TKO stoppage at the end of round 3. I think Fish has a lot of fucking potential in the heavyweight division. The more he gets in there and gets that ring time and proceeds to develop those skills, like he's a big boy with some heavy hands. So I think he's going to be a real force to reckon with in the heavyweight division.
What about you there, Brian? What you got on that fight?
I mean, both of y'all pretty much summed it up to what I was going to say. I mean, Fish looked pretty good, man. And, Adrian, I mean, I think he has a few things to figure out because that's the second fight in a row where he got hit in that spot in that eye and it was over. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, took a knuckle to the eye to end that one. All right. Yeah. Now, here's the fight that nasty controversy. Melvin Gillard and Scott O'Shaughnessy. Fight starts out great. Melvin's doing work. He lands some big punches. Scott fires back, lands some big punches. He drops Melvin Gillard. Melvin is up against a corner post with his ass sitting on the rope. Yep. At that point right there, the referee should have stepped in, scored the knockdown, and gave fucking Melvin the 10 count. The 8 count, whatever you want to call it, and giving him a chance to get up. When he stopped that fucking fight, I almost threw shit at my fucking fancy TV. And then I realized, fuck that, I like my TV. But I was fucking furious. I was livid. Referees, you have to be right. And listen, I know this is new for some of these guys. But if you're not confident that you can do it right, and if you're a boxing referee and you got that wrong, you should never, ever be the third man in anybody's fucking ring because that was bullshit. And it's not O'Shaughnessy's fault. O'Shaughnessy did what he's supposed to do. He kept fighting.
Yep.
No problem with O'Shaughnessy and how he handled it. He fought till the referee stopped him.
Yep.
But for Melvin, that was bullshit, man. I'm livid.
His
name is Keith Hughes. If you want to find him on social media,
that
give him a shout out. Let's give him a shout out.
Keith Hughes, you suck.
Damn. Dude, I'm right there with you, man. Like it was that's real frustrating, and I hear the reasoning, or like you said, oh well, it's a new sport. Like you said, that's not the fighter's fucking problem. That's not our problem. That's your problem. Right? Mm-hmm. So I get that this is still a newer sport. I get that, and maybe some things are still tweaking each show, and maybe little things here and there. But I think completely understand that. But that's not the fighter's fucking problem. That's your problem. That's the referee's problem. That's the commission's problem. You know? So again, just like Chris said, if you're not completely confident of your ability to referee this fight and being able to call things correctly, do not do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It was bullshit. And the fact that it's unanimous across the board, you know, the fighters, the fans, the media, it's bullshit. The fans were chanting this, like something like this is bullshit or something.
Or they were you suck ref or something like that.
Yeah. Come on,
bro. Brian, what you got?
Kick rocks.
Man, look, hey, I'm a big Melvin Gillard fan, and you know, if I was ever blessed to be able to fight that man, I would. But you know, that fight pissed me the fuck off. I was going fucking nuts. Like, that guy, that ref should be. I'm sorry, but he should be fired. Fucking fired, because that's some bullshit. Like that shit had me so pissed. Like, hey, those guys should really take it back and rematch that fight at BKFC 17 coming up in a couple weeks. So somebody needs to make that happen. I would really love to see that fight and where it could have went, because that referee definitely took that fight away from both of those guys. You feel what I'm saying? So that the rematch needs to happen immediately.
He definitely stole it from fucking Melvin.
Yes.
Melvin was completely coherent. He was in the fight. It was wrong. Again, look up Kevin Hughes or Keith Hughes on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Fucking blow him up. Tell him to fucking get a new job. Get out of the fucking circle and fucking go get a job at Blockbuster Video.
Kick rocks, Hughes. Kick rocks.
Wow.
I said the fucking bricks.
I said Blockbuster Video. It's not even open. So, but that's
exactly.
That almost makes it funnier. So I like it. Stick with it.
All right, so here comes the other shitty fucking controversy tonight. Caleb Harris versus Noah Cutter. This was the fight on the card that I was probably more excited about, or as equally excited about as the main event.
Yeah.
Both young fucking studs, both bring it. Caleb Harris owns the most impressive knockout, the most seen knockout in BKFC history. Noah Cutter fucking fought Francesco Ricci in Miami and put the dude in a coma. Yep. These guys are serious, legit fighters. The referee stopped. The doctor comes in between rounds and calls a halt to the bout for a cut that was fucking here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if I heard them say that maybe it's a broken orbital, but if it was, his face would have blown up so much more. He had a cut right here. Fucking, I don't get the stoppage. They robbed Cutter of the fight. Back to back. Two fucking shitty things in a row. Josh has got a little look on his face. Well, go ahead, Josh. What the fuck?
I need to see more pictures. I mean, it did look like a nasty cut. I'm not saying it was nasty enough to stop it.
Not here,
but
here it's not dripping into his eye. So look right here.
I need to see some pictures. I don't think it's fair to compare it to the shitty referee. I don't think it's quite on the same shittiness, but I get what you're saying. I mean, it's
not the referee; it's the shitty doctor. Because the referee, he's the referee too. Because the referee brought him over to fucking have his eye checked after they rang the bell for round 2. He takes a referee timeout, calls the doctor up. Doctor stops the fight. So the doctor called the fight. Again, wrong. The doctor sucks. I don't know his name, but that doctor sucks. Find him on social media and blow him up too.
I'll withhold my opinion until I just need to see, or I'll go back and watch it, because I was kind of like doing shit in between, like watching this fight at the same time. So I don't know if I really saw clearly what happened. So I don't want to, I'll withhold my opinion on that one until I see it.
All right, Red, what you got? I know you didn't miss it.
No, of course I didn't miss it. I mean, hey, that was a bullshit stoppage also, but that cut. When I fought at Total On Series 1, I had a cut like that on the side of my nose, and the doctor was in the corner like, I think I should stop this, and I'm like, no, sir, don't you stop this for a cut. Especially on the side of my nose, I could still, I did ask my coach, is my nose bleeding, because I seen a little bit of blood, and the doctor's like, I think we want to stop this, and I'm like, I touched my nose, and his little fingernail cut on the side of my nose, and I was like, no, sir, don't you stop this. And based on experience, I felt like that was bullshit. Like that was definitely a fight of the night candidate. Also, if it would have went all the way through, and because they those two came out banging, bro. Like Caleb is the homie, and I've had several conversations with Noah also, and I was really looking forward to that scrap right there. That like I was excited when they announced both of those guys. Like that shit had me super hyped.
Yeah.
Whenever I told the line one, Noah Cutter was talking, saying, I want to beat up Caleb Harris. He told me back then. He wanted to fight. Harris even yelled at him right after the round ended. You said you wanted this? Well, he got it. And both guys were doing a good job. Again, the referee stole the fight from Cutter. Not saying that he won, but he was the chance to go out there and compete was stolen from him. Sure. The show was stolen from the fans. No, you can't stop it for that shitty cut. I mean, we'll talk about the main event in a minute, but I will say this. Joe Elmore's cut was gushing like a fucking Red River. And they did it and they let the fight go. If they let that fucking go, same fucking doctor, but he stopped that fight, that just shows you the inept fucking ability of some of these doctors. One decision here, completely fucked up.
No, that's 100%. Yeah, no.
Yes,
definitely.
Sir.
So the inconsistency is bullshit.
Referees, judges, doctors.
It needs to be black and white. Like there is no shades of gray. It needs to be. This is what this is this is this. The inconsistencies of that looks okay. That one I don't know about that.
I mean, if I'm a doctor and I'm going to have a choice between the main event and that fight to stop a fight because of the blood being a detriment to the sight of the fighter, then I have to stop Elmore's fight.
Exactly. Shit, in Florida when I fought in Florida once, I had a doctor literally tell me that a cut under my eye was a broken orbital. And I was like, you know what? I'll just wait till I get home to my doctor so I can have it x-rayed and make sure it's not a broken orbital. You want to know what it was? A surface cut. Mm-hmm. It was a surface cut that had swollen a little bit. And I was like, well, the doctor in Florida told me that, my orbital bone was broken. I mean, my eye's a little swollen here, but the doctor was like, let's go take x-rays. And I'm going to tell you now, it's just a surface scratch, and we'll just do x-rays just because, and everything was perfectly fine. It was just a surface scratch that had been swollen a little bit. Right. And I was like, I'm so glad that I waited until I got home to talk to my doctor instead of going to the hospital that doctor told me to go to in Florida because he thought my orbital bone was broken. My orbital bone was perfectly fine.
See, that works. I was so mad about that fight. Bobo Bannon, Arnold Adams, heavyweight, the inaugural heavyweight champion, taking on the up-and-comer Bobo Bannon. I fucking love Bobo Bannon. Not Bobo Bannon the fighter, just Bobo Bannon. So if Bobo stubs his toe while he's walking around Walmart, I'm going to be sad. So obviously watching Bobo lose a fight, I'm going to be sad. Arnold Adams is a beast. He looked phenomenal tonight, man. He looked to be in the best shape I've ever seen him in. He came out here to make a statement tonight, and he did. First round finish of Bobo Bannon. Bobo got clipped again, went down, covered up. Fight was over at that point. And you knew it. You saw Bobo's body language. Impressive performance by Arnold Adams. He was stoked. He was fired up. He was hyped. Even after the fight when he got the win, he was like letting you know, I'm fucking back, motherfuckers. He immediately came back in the title spot. I know they announced Josh Burns and Dylan Kleckler tonight for the main event of BKFC 17 in Alabama. However, Arnold Adams just upset that apple cart because I think that was going to be a title eliminator. Right now, Shoemaker and Beltran are going to fight for Beltran's title. Whoever wins that fight, Adams has to be next. The other guys just no. I mean, the former champ came back with a huge win against a guy that's popular. So, at this point, it's got to be Adams. That's my opinion. Give me your take on the fight, and then title picture. We'll go with Mr. Maxwell first.
Well, I definitely called that fight to the T. I was sitting here and saying right before the fight, when Adams wins this fight, it's going to be a first-round fight, and it's going to be an overhand right.
He's trying to pause you, homie.
Brian, you got to listen to the host when he says, "Hang on a second."
Oh, my bad.
I know, because you talking, you ain't listening.
Man, look, I do this all the time.
I got to remember to shout out my sponsors at that point of the show. Got to shout out my sponsor, Just Heart Apparel, East Coast, for all they do for my show. Also, guys, if you don't have the BKTV app, you missed out tonight, but get it. It's $4 a month. I think the initial cost is $13 and change for the administrative crap and everything. That's $4 a month to get all the fights. Now, Mr. Brian Maxwell, go ahead.
But for real though, like I literally called that fight to the T. I was like, when Arnold wins, it's going to be in the first round, and it's going to be with the overhand right, and that's exactly what happened. I knew Arnold was waiting for that perfect moment to throw that overhand right, and I knew once it landed, it's going to shake Bobo up, and I like Bobo.
Love Bobo.
Cool dude. Super cool dude. I like that guy as a person, you feel what I'm saying? And, I'll comment on his posts every now and again. But, I've known Arnold Adams since BKFC 2. And, so of course I'm a fan, and he's one of the homies. I talk to him every once in a while too. So, I called that fight. Don't get me wrong. Bobo did hit Arnold one time, and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be a banger. You feel what I'm saying? But hey, that was my take on it. And it was still awesome while they were in there. Don't get me wrong.
100%. It was a good fight. Bobo did clip him one time, and I was like the same thing. So, Josh, give me your take on that fight. Oh, by the way, Zion Tomlinson Sr. just popped up on the top. Told everyone, first round KO. Zion, you want to come on? I'm going to send you a link if you want to jump in with us, bro. So go ahead, Josh. Give us your.
Well, I'll just go ahead. Yeah. So I like Bobo too. Like you said, Bobo's just an awesome person. Besides the fighter, Bobo's cool as shit. And man, but I've been a fan of Arnold Adams too since day one, man. And to steal a plug from Roy Jones, y'all must have forgot, man. Because like Arnold, I think Arnold Adams, a lot of people counted him out, man. A lot of people wrote him off. He hasn't been around. I know, since the Chase Sherman fight. I get it. He's been gone for a while. But fuck, man. I can't believe I'm actually surprised how people thought this was going to be super close. And this is no disrespect at all to Bobo at all. So I hope he doesn't take it like that. It's just that I just thought Arnold Adams, his just the technicality alone, man. I just thought he was going to go in there. I don't know if I predicted like a first round KO or anything, but I just thought that Arnold, with his skills and his speed, was just probably going to be too much for Bobo at this time. Not to say that down the road Bobo can't change some stuff up and beat AJ. I'm not saying that, but I knew right now AJ, especially coming back and how he just has all this, he's got something to prove because a lot of people kind of wrote him off. So I think in his mind, he wanted to prove to, the promotion, because I thought the promotion did a shitty job promoting AJ. I'll just say it clear. I don't care. I thought they did a shitty job promoting him. He was, I think he's going to come back, and I think he's going to make a big argument to be in that title picture. And he did that tonight. So it's, again, the heavyweight title picture is really fucking interesting. I would hate to be Nate, trying to get these matches made, because someone's not going to be happy with whatever he makes. And I feel for him. I get it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be somebody that's left standing out in the cold. But again, I somewhat agree with you about the promotional or lack of promotion for Adams. However, I'm going to say this. I think promotion over the time has gotten better at learning how to promote more than just one guy.
Yeah, they've gotten better. Absolutely.
Got caught in like limbo between learning stuff for the promotion, because even though David Feldman has been promoting boxing for a long time and everything, this is a little different. So they're learning new ways to do stuff. He was definitely a victim of not enough promotion. And then, of course, he lost the belt to Chase Sherman, and then he kind of dove off into the sunset. I don't know if he went on a self-imposed exile and just decided to walk away for a little while to refocus, or if he was frustrated or whatever. But man, he came back tonight. He came back in a big way, and he's definitely in the title picture now. If he wasn't already. So excellent fight for him. Bobo, I love Bobo. Like I said, I'm never going to not love Bobo. But I agree with you guys. If I had made my official picks known, I kind of felt that Adams was going to win this fight too. I hate to pick against Bobo because I just love him as a person.
Right.
It hurts me to have to pick against him. It hurts me to have to see him, go down like that.
Right.
He's got so much going on in his life. His wife is very ill.
Yeah.
By the way, check out the hashtag Britain's Battle. And you can find out, go to Bobo's page to find out what she's going through. And, I think that'd be GoFundMe going to help her out. Anything you guys can do to help, please do. They're good human beings. They're awesome people. I love them both. Sad to see him lose tonight, but he's still a winner. He's got life, going the way he wants to. So God bless him and his family. Next, we move on to the co-main event. Reggie Barnett Jr. taking on Chop Corley. This fight, leading up to it, Chop is a world-class boxer. Phenomenal. 25-year career, two-time world champion, somebody that you shouldn't take lightly. Reggie did not take this man lightly. Reggie came out, and Reggie, what he did was so brilliant in the beginning. Even though he got a few warnings from the referee for fucking bullying him in, bullying him, just clinching him, and basically shooting a takedown, in essence. He threw Corley off. Corley did not expect that. And he said before the fight, Barnett did, that he was going to be rough and tumble. He was going to show him that bare knuckle fighting is different than boxing without gloves. And Reggie did that. Did it so well. He was landing. Corley found a groove a little bit. And this Melanie Lowe just went that slam, though. That takedown into the slam. I got to tell you, man, that was fucking dope. I know it was, no scoring, whatever, but I got to tell you, man, excellent execution there on that takedown. He did it right. If that was an MMA fight, we all would have been jumping out of our chairs going, look at that fucking excellent technique of takedown. Yep. So, shit happens sometimes. But Reggie implemented a good game plan. He threw Corley off. And the striking numbers were pretty even at the end of the fight when they showed the final numbers. But Reggie did what he wanted to do, implemented his game plan. Then he would step back and, try to fight boxing. When he started doing that, Corley was already off his game. So that's why Reggie was able to step back and use his footwork and go into the world that Corley, technically is better in straight boxing.
Sure.
It's not even on paper. It's just real. Corley is a better boxer. But Corley is nowhere near the bare-knuckle fighter that Reggie Barnett is. And this version of Reggie, I had him on my show last week. He's so calm. He's so cool. He's so collected. He's got a new focus in life. He matured major levels from the last time we saw him fight. I'm so happy for that kid. And he called out that. He gets the he gets the TKO because he made Corley quit on the stool. There was no injury. There was no problem. Corley just said, I'm out. Done. That's fucking a statement.
It's surprising.
Josh, go ahead. What you got?
I was just, it was really shocking. It went exactly kind of how I thought, even though I know all the promos Chop was saying, I'm not going to box him. This is bare knuckle. But he went to his default, which was, the entire fight, he was looking for the range to utilize the footwork, right? To create that space to try to box Reggie. Reggie was trying to get on the inside, and that's what he was doing. Reggie was trying to establish, this is my fucking sport. This is where I'm the fucking king at. And that's what he did, with the bullying, the physical, it was more mental, I think, than it was physical, because right away, Chop was like, what the fuck? Like, this dude is just, throwing me around, pushing me into the ropes. And those ropes aren't really like fucking ropes. It's just fucking like steel cables and shit.
Yes, they hurt a little bit.
It doesn't feel good. And I hopefully this puts, Reggie in a different spotlight, because I think Reggie needed that. Reggie definitely needed that nudge against somebody with the reputation of Chop, and like you said, not only did he beat him, and it was a close fight. I'm not saying like Chop Chop was like, completely destroyed, but he beat him enough to where Chop Chop said,
Quit.
fuck that. I'm not coming back out for round 5. I've had enough. And I can't fucking imagine a world. I've said this now for like the last 3 fights. I can't imagine a world where Reggie doesn't get his fucking title shot, against that. I can't imagine how this doesn't happen now.
Now, if you don't get that title shot now, there's something fucking way fucked up going on that none of us must know about, because Reggie is now the most winningest fighter in BKFC.
Yes, sir.
6-1.
He's only got the 1 loss, and that was to Bedford. And this is a different Reggie than we saw that night against Bedford.
Yep.
So it's it's that or bust for Reggie, and he should definitely get that.
Facts.
There's no doubt about it. Mr. Red Rims, Brian Maxwell, what you got on that fight for us, bro?
Man, that slam, dude, that shit made me jump off the couch. That made me feel like a proud wrestling coach right there at that moment. I was like, oh shit. But hey, Reggie did his fucking thing. Like, that shit was lit. He made that man quit. And I thought that was going to go all 5 rounds, and it'd be a slight nudge towards Reggie. I knew Reggie would win the fight, but I thought it was going to be a slight nudge towards Reggie to win the overall fight. But he made that man fucking quit. That is a big fucking statement.
And he pissed off when fucking Chop Chop quit. He's like, we got one more round. He wanted to fucking finish him. But I'm going to tell you, and I'll let you finish your statement. For me, making a motherfucker quit on the stool is fucking more satisfying to me than knocking you out.
Knocking someone back.
God damn right. Go ahead, Mr. Reverend. Feel what you say. I just got to
Hey, I was about to say the same thing you said. Making somebody quit on a stool is better than knocking them out, because at that moment, they know, like, at that moment, they fucked up and they want to get the fuck up out of there. Yeah. And that's exactly what Reggie did. And that really made a statement. And if he does not get to fight that next, there is something really going on that the world needs to know about.
Conspiracy level shit.
Jarrett Walker just commented, and he made the statement right here. I'd walk away from BKFC if I didn't get one with the 6-1 record. And you know what? I was thinking the same thing, Jarrett. We're sitting here speculating, what if you don't? I don't think there's any way they're not going to give him the title shot. I think at this point, this is the fight to make. Feldman will make the fight. So I'm not even worried about it right now, because who else is there at 135 that
there's nobody else.
There's nobody
else.
I mean,
exactly.
Has not been around. There's not really a lot of guys at 135. I mean, Johnny Bedford, I know he wants a rematch. I don't think the rematch is the right way to go in this. I think he has to come back and win at least one. The talent, the division is so thin. So, we can't keep seeing the same guy fight the same guy. Even though we have a small pool of talent right now, move them around. Give these guys
keep it moving. Yeah, keep it moving.
Mm-hmm. So if Reggie wins, we get Reggie versus fucking Johnny, and we saw that once already. So this could, be the fight that evens it up, and then they build into a trilogy. That would be fucking awesome. Yeah. If that wins, then we get the rematch. Against Johnny. If Johnny, as long as Johnny gets another win, Johnny has to go out and get a win against another top guy in the division. Maybe put Johnny in there with Chop Chop. Fucking who knows? Mm-hmm. I'd watch that fight too. But man, tell you, Reggie, if you're watching or if you catch us later, man, I'm going to say on behalf of all of us, man, I'm just going to do this. Fucking phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
Former world champion, a guy that stood in Floyd Mayweather and took him to task, and you made that dude quit. You made that man quit on the stool. Like I said, if I'm a fighter, fucking, I'd be walking out of the fucking ring with my dick harder than Chinese arithmetic at that point, because fucking holy shit.
Oh my goodness. Hey, but hey, I hate to cut you off, but I gotta slide off of here because I gotta run to the gym, because I gotta get ready to hit the road in a couple hours, and I need to take my ass to sleep because I'm actually heading to Alabama for to help out with
For the
bare knuckle,
tryouts.
for tryouts, and I'm gonna hit the road in a little while, and I got to run by the gym to get my shit real quick.
Well, dude, we only got one more fight left, dude. We're on the main event.
All right, let's get it.
And I'll even let you go first. So I'll just open up the fight. Main event: Joe Elmore versus Leonard Garcia. Garcia defeats Elmore 50-45, 50-45, 49-46. I have no problem with that scoring.
Nope.
Mr. Red Rams, tell us what you see. Oh, wait. Are you sure you want to leave there, fucking Mr. Red Rams? Because look at this. It is the president of BKFC joining us live, Mr. David Feldman, and his son, a brand new father. We got grandpa and father. Awesome. The Feldmans are with us. We're going over the main event real quick. Give us your take on the main event there, Brian, and then you dump out. Brian's got to go to the tryouts, and we got to get him in and out quick. Brian, quick, hit it.
I
Hey,
mean,
that
unbelievable.
oh my
Go
bad.
ahead. I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Oh,
So,
oh,
Brian,
you good,
going to
but
the tryouts?
yes,
You going
sir.
to
I will
tryouts?
see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow.
bro. Go ahead.
But hey, that main event was a fucking war. I fucking loved it. It was everything that I expected to be. You know, that was a fight between a legend and an upcoming legend, and that shit was lit. Like I'm actually gonna go back and watch that as soon as it's available back on the app, just to watch it one more fucking time. So that's my intake. It was a fucking war. It could have went either way, and that shit was lit.
All right. Well, Brian, listen, thanks for joining us tonight, man. Safe travels down to the tryouts in Alabama tomorrow. Have fun.
Yes, sir.
I did the tryouts a couple times, dude. They're a lot of fun. We'll see you soon. And we're jumping out right now. Thanks for taking the time, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Brian.
Yes, sir. Thank
Mr. David Feldman, man, you got to be smiling tonight, guys and girls. The president of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, David Feldman, has joined myself and my buddy Josh Fers from Combat Insider / Knucklepedia, the one and only original. David, give me your take on the whole night overall, and then we're going to pick a couple of fights we want to get your opinion on.
I thought it was a great night of fights. I mean, it was a really, really entertaining night. You know, we saw a lot of things tonight. We saw how the tryouts work. Spencer Agaria and David Diaz put on one of the best fights I've ever witnessed live. Just a war, man. Unbelievable fight. We saw Arnold Adams have his comeback. He knows what we're looking for now, and he fought a different fight. We saw Jason Fish score a nice knockout. We saw that this is really bare knuckle fighting and not bare knuckle boxing, because we saw what happened with Reggie Barnett and DeMarcus Chop Corley. That, you know, it's a different animal here. And then you go into the main event, and Joe Elmore and Leonard Garcia left everything, blood, sweat, tears, their heart, everything right in the center of that ring I'm looking at right now. And I couldn't be happier to have those guys on the roster. And, you know, Leonard is probably one of the sweetest, nicest men I've ever met in my life. Like, just an unbelievable human being, great family man. Really love his family. I'm sad to see him go, but I'm happy to see him go at the same time, because now he gets to enjoy his family. Joe Elmore, you know, I think he learned a lot about himself tonight, and, you know, he has the potential of being a superstar in this sport.
Definitely does. You know, good fights top to bottom all the way down. You touched on one of the fights we were really hyped on. From the tryout, one guy from the Phoenix tryout, one guy from the Phoenix tryout went to work, put on an epic fight. I'd have to say it's one of the best fights, like you said, we've ever seen in BKFC history. Josh and I both agreed. Then we get to the two fights that really pissed us off as a consensus panel before you came on. The horrible stoppage by Keith Hughes, the referee, in O'Shaughnessy versus Gillard. You're an old school boxing guy, and you even said something or post fight, or after that fight, you were talking with backstage, and you even said, if you're up against the ropes and the ropes stop you and you land on your butt and you're in the ropes, that's a knockdown. The referee should have stopped in and scored the knockdown. And O'Shaughnessy has nothing to do with any of that. He's the fighter and did what he was supposed to do, continue fighting, but the referee fucked that up.
No, 100%, Chris. And you know what? The fighter, I went back and said, man, great fight. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I said, I didn't say you did anything wrong. You actually did everything right. You're supposed to try to knock your fighter out. You're supposed to do what you did. You didn't do anything wrong, but I thought it was a bad call by the referee. I tried to get it overturned, but, you know, it didn't happen. And, you know, Melvin looked in shape this time. He looked like he was really trying to come to fight. So, you know, that could be a good rematch. Melvin did not lose his place here with this company. Maybe we can build him up and do some more things with him. I really like him. He was very appreciative of everything. He was obviously upset, but it was bad officiating. But what can you do? You move on, and we had a great night. I mean, all in all, I would grade tonight an A plus. It was one of our best shows from top to bottom, I thought. So I'm happy. I'm happy with everything that happened. I'm happy with where we're going, and I'm happy with the activity we're about to have. I think we had a meeting with a lot of people internally, and I think by the end of the year, you're going to see at least 3, if not 4 fights a month from BKFC.
That's fun.
Dave, I have to ask real quick. I have to ask. I know it's hard to make fights on fight night. Is there any reason in the world why Reggie Barnett Jr. versus Dat Win shouldn't be next? Like, is there any reason you can think of?
The only way it doesn't happen next, because I did tell Johnny Bedford that he was going to be able to get a rematch. So other than that, and I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not sure. I have to talk to these guys this week. But other than that, no, absolutely not. I mean, Reggie Barnett did everything he had to do tonight. He looked sensational. He fought a phenomenal game plan. He told me, he said, I know I can't outbox DeMarcus Chop Corley. I have to outfight him. But he ended up outboxing him and outfighting him. So he looked sensational. Yeah. I mean, look, if that doesn't happen with Johnny and that, 100% that's the fight.
Awesome. And that's what I said. We were just talking about that. It's like the only way I could see this not happening is if they give the rematch to Bedford. Me personally, I'd rather see Reggie fight that. And then if Reggie wins, then we get, Bedford.
Do the trilogy with Bedford.
We get Bedford and Reggie part 2. And then if Reggie win that, we build to a trilogy. And those are all money fights. I was just thinking financial, for you guys, because you can just continue to build that fight. The other fight, Collard and O'Shaughnessy, would you consider putting that back together in 6 weeks in Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the thing is, you got to be careful of doing too many rematches, right? Although this one kind of warrants one because it was a bad stoppage. But,
Absolutely.
As I'm talking about that and Johnny at the same time, I'm saying to myself, it's something that maybe we can build up a little more. So to do these immediate rematches, sometimes they work, but right now we have so many fighters in our stable that we don't really need to do immediate rematches all the time. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what the fans call for. We're gonna try to get some fan interaction on this and see what happens. But where we were when we started and where we are now, and the other players that came and went, and other guys that are trying to do this. I mean, I think we're just head and shoulders above anybody else in bare knuckle fighting around the world. And we're just looking forward to what's next, man. We're opening up a new state in April. We're opening up a new state in June, July, August, September, October, all new states. So
6 or
we're
7
in this thing. We're getting regulated in different states, and it's going to be a phenomenal rest of the year.
What about Harris Cutter? What do you think of that stoppage? I felt the doctor prematurely stopped that when the cut was here on the side of his face.
Who was that? Oh, Harris. Yeah, no. That was a bad cut. It had to be stopped. Absolutely. Didn't know at first that it had to be stopped, but after I looked at the picture, 100%. I mean, Dr. Don Muzi is the president of the Association of Ringside Physicians. He's one of the best ringside physicians in the world, and he gives fighters a chance. And he said it had to be stopped. It had to be stopped.
Yeah, I saw the cut. It looked like it was here, not leaking into the eye. That's why I felt that it was horrible stoppage, because Cutter could have continued as far as I was concerned. And that fight was going to turn into the fight of the night. Those guys were fucking going. That was the fight I was most looking forward to, other than Elmore and Garcia. And for that one round that we got to see it, that was all action. I think we lost the boss. Internet signal or his phone died. So Feldman says that was not a bad stoppage. I wasn't there, so I'm going to have to side on this one.
I just need to go back and watch it. Like I said, I don't know if I really have an opinion just at this moment. I don't know if I have an opinion one way or the other, because I was kind of like in between doing shit. But I will go back and I want to take a look at it.
Now I got to go back and watch it again and look at the fucking footage, because now I might have to retract saying the doctor sucks. But from where I saw it, I felt the doctor got it wrong. But David Feldman's been in boxing and promoting for a long time. So if he's saying that and defending the doctor, because, promoters don't defend the doctors or the referees or the judges when they fuck up. They hate them. So for Feldman to come out and defend it, it gives me a little more motivation to go back and look at it again and maybe give the doctor a little more credence for doing his job properly. So I don't know his name, so don't look him up. But Keith Hughes, look that guy up because he sucks. So we didn't get to talk about the main event. I don't know if we're going to get Feldman back, but it's nice they jumped in with us. If we get him back, we get him back. If not, David Feldman, thank you for jumping into us. I know everybody wants a piece of your time at the end of the show. So thank you for joining us on this. So main event, Elmore and Garcia, the decision, like I said, 50-45, 50-45, 49-46. Felt those scores were all balls on accurate. What a fucking fight. For me, that became, I got to say, that's the fight of the night. I hate to give it to the main event because you expect the main event to deliver, but these guys really delivered. And that's why I want Feldman to stay on. I wanted to see what he was going to tell us was the fight of the night, but we didn't get it from him, so maybe next time.
You know what? I'm going to say, and I'll explain why I think this. I think the David Diaz and the Spencer fight is more fight of the night for me. Only because for me, when I think of fight of the night, I want to see something that's, fucking a little back and forth. That's kind of close. I don't think that Leonard Garcia Elmore fight was that close. It was a display of, Leonard fucking pressing forward and Joe being tougher than fucking nails. Right? Like that was more the story of the Garcia Elmore fight was just, you can't drop Elmore. Elmore has a fucking granite chin. I don't know. I could see your argument for that as fight of the night, but for me, I would have to give it to the Diaz versus Spencer fight.
Yeah, and I have no problem with that pick because that would have been my backup pick. I said that to you, I think when we were talking earlier. What the hell? Why the fuck is this thing not working? All right, move it over here. I want to bring up the picture that I had that I took of the screen. Let me pull this up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's called dead air.
Well, you can talk, you fucker, and then it's not dead
air. I could. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about, man. I think we covered it pretty good. The main event, I thought it lived up to being a main event. It was an awesome fucking fight. Like I said, it was one man's. I thought too. Leonard Garcia was one of those guys simply because of the Jim Eller's fight. A lot of people counted him out. I think a lot of people were just assuming Joe Elmer was going to go in there and destroy him, just like Jim Ellers did. And I'm like, I just didn't think that Garcia was going to, let that happen 2 fights in a row. Not that, if Joe did it, there would be anything you could do about it. But I thought that, Leonard was going to train really fucking hard, and he did. He got Tom Schoaf in his corner, who fought Joe Elmore in Joe's last fight. So he kind of had that inside scoop on, what hurts Joe and because Tom did good against Joe too. But again, Joe's so fucking tough. I mean, in terms of like toughness, I would almost dare say between him and fucking Joey Beltran, between those two guys in terms of sheer toughness, the 2 pound for pound toughest motherfuckers in BKFC. I think I would feel confident in saying that with no disrespect to anybody else. Just sheer fucking toughness. Joe Elmore and Joey Beltran got to be up there.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, that was fucking bonkers. I mean, good stuff. So here is. Let me bring this picture up here. Let me see if I can do this right. Sometimes I forget how to do this. Share screen. Share screen. Home tab. So look at this picture. I'm just going to see if I can just bring that picture up full screen right there. The picture on the left, Josh, if you're looking.
I'm looking, buddy.
Okay, well, you were looking down. I didn't know if you were like looking at your toes or something, thinking if you need a pedicure. I'm
looking. All right.
So the left was early in the night. But
Yep.
pretty much the whole night, that's what the ring looked like. And then if you look at the right, look at all the fucking blood.
Yeah.
All that was just from the Elmore fight
Yeah.
for Garcia. That
Yeah.
was fucking so fucking messy.
He was spraying blood.
Oh, it was crazy. And it was only from that one cut. But it was nasty. I mean, but Joe, we saw that in the show fight as well. Joe bleeds. Joe gets cut. Joe's got a lot of scar tissue over his years of fighting. Scar tissue like that opens up and you bleed.
Right.
And he did. I will say, Joe got rocked early and wobbled, which I didn't expect to see because I didn't think either of these guys were going to really wobble each other. I think they were just going to beat the crap out of each other, and whoever ended up winning was going to win. But man,
I don't know, man, because he fucking rocked Leonard Garcia rocked Julian when they fought at BKFC 4, and and Julian's fucking tough. He's right up there too. So, he rocked Julian a couple times. I know that Leonard has that. Like you look at Leonard Garcia, you don't look at him immediately and go, man, that guy's got a lot of fucking power. You just don't. He's very fucking deceptive, but like. As it happened, he hit him early on and fucking rocked him, and I think it completely changed the entire
fight.
It just changed the whole fight from that point.
Yeah, it really did. It was a great fight.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for BKFC 17, Kleckler and Burns main eventing. That's going to be fucking awesome.
That's going to be something.
Yeah, wow. And I like what Feldman said about Adams. He goes, watching Adams tonight. He now understands what we want in our fighters, and he delivered tonight. So Feldman's excited because that means I think he understands that he's got another title fight for Beltran if he gets through Sam Shoemaker. My early pick on that fight is going to be Beltran retaining the title. Sam's a tough guy, big old country boy. He packs power. He's got some really good striking. But I just watching Joey. Every time he goes out, I don't know, man.
Well,
I honestly want to see Beltran and Adams get at it again. So I'm hoping, besides the fact that I'm picking Beltran, I hope he wins because I want to see that rematch.
It's going to take somebody because that style, the headhunter style, doesn't fucking work against Joey. It's going to take somebody to really technically pick Joey apart, like AJ did. That's what it's going to take to beat somebody like Joey Beltran, because if you're going to go in there and think that you're just going to run over top of Joey or try to knock him out, it's not going to fucking happen. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to pick him apart and maybe even try to plan on winning the fight by like outpoint Joey.
Yeah.
Try that route. It's not going to be the prettiest. It won't be the prettiest fight going that route, but what are we talking about here? Are we talking about, walking away with the W and getting the belt, or are we talking about making sure somebody posts your picture on Facebook because you had a cool fight?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, you're right. I love that fight, and I don't know if there's anybody in the heavyweight division right now, and I say this with respect to everybody, that is going to be able to knock Beltran out. I think it's going to take somebody with knockout power like Francis Ngannou in the UFC. That guy's power is off the charts, crazy. And I know there's some guys that probably haven't. Maybe I just haven't seen it displayed yet. I know Josh Burns has got fucking big power in his hand.
Yeah,
he's got a fight coming up. So I mean, it's Josh Burns, Dylan Kleckler has huge power. But like Kleckler, we haven't really seen a full Kleckler yet because his first fight he won against Frank Tate, and then I don't even remember the name of his last opponent, but he beat him with body punches.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. I just know. So but body punches, dude. So that tells me, and I've seen Kleckler up close because he fought with us at Island Fights. So I know a little bit about Dylan, and he's just fucking like, he's a heavyweight. And you look at him, you go, all right, he's a heavyweight. He looked in the phenomenal shape the last fight he had. But it's hard to look at him and you go, God, the power behind that guy, because he doesn't look like that overpowering guy, but he
Right.
is.
Right.
I wouldn't want him to fucking thump me like that on the head. I wouldn't want that would probably knock me the fuck out. That's how strong I believe this kid is. So there you went out of focus. Every time you move in or you do something to your face, you go out of focus. It's weird. So overall tonight, man, I had a great time watching the fights. Good stuff. Like I said, the two things I didn't like were those stoppages. A couple of referee calls during the bouts I wasn't overly excited about, but other than that, none of the referee or judges or doctors has anything to do with what we saw from the fighters. And we saw the fighters all come out there and put on a show. Shocked that Corley quit on the stand, but that's an estimate to what Reggie was doing to him and bringing him, because he broke that man and broke him. Like, you can knock a guy out, but to make a man quit, like I said, that's much more impressive to me. So Monday I won't be here. Tuesday, no, I won't be here either. Zion, if you're still watching, I will get you on next week, probably on Thursday night. I have to go out of town. I have to deal with some family stuff right now, going through some stuff. Josh, parting shots or parting words?
I mean, it was a solid card, man. But like you said, that was a big shocker for me too. Chop quitting on the stool. I obviously, like you said too, the Melvin Gillard fight, the Scottish China Seed Melvin Gillard fight with that weird stoppage.
Hang on a second, Josh. Aaron Rutledge, you said you were there. Which fight are you talking about? The bullshit stoppage, Cutter, or the
Gillard fight? The Gillard fight. Well, that's what I was talking about. I don't know.
Gillard and O'Shaughnessy. Which fight did you say was the stoppage?
You talking to me or the chat?
No, I'm asking the chat.
Okay.
It said I was there, so I wanted.
Okay, gotcha.
He said to be a stoppage. I wanted to.
Yeah,
what it was.
I mean, it was a solid fucking card, man. I think as with Monday morning quarterback in this after this card, I think there's a lot of cool fights to make for the 65-pound division, the 35-pound division, the heavyweight division. There's some interesting stuff that's going to happen. I think when maybe when the rankings get updated.
So he said the Gillard fight. Rutledge said the Gillard fight. We all agree with you, man.
Yeah.
He said himself.
Yeah.
You know what? I was going to give this card like an A, but I'm going to give it an A minus. You know why?
Because of that?
No, I won't misgrade the card because of a referee. But we didn't have a girl fight tonight.
I mean, there was supposed to be, but the other girl backed out or whatever. I don't know.
I give it an A minus, solid A. Honestly, the card delivered. Yeah, no, we got you, Aaron. We all agree with you. The Gillard fight was a bullshit stoppage, dude. So, yeah, everybody in the world agrees with you. So, the commentators, the promoters, the fans in attendance. That's why I wish I would have asked Phil, how did it feel to have a full crowd in there, because they were allowed to in that building tonight.
Yeah,
so that must have been awesome for him to get that back, and bigger shows are coming.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, I don't know, B plus, A minus. I'd probably lean more towards B plus, and it was a solid fucking card. It really was. It was a solid card. Best card? Not the best card. Wasn't the worst card. It was a solid fucking card. It was a solid card. Solid fights.
Oh wait, hold on. Christine got kicked out. You mean Christine Ferreira? Was she there? Aaron, tell us. Breaking news on Cage.
What?
Type it out, Aaron. Tell us.
Let me mess with my girl. Let me figure out what happened. What happened here?
Wait, hold on, Josh. Before you ask her, let's see what he says, and then you can confirm it. Aaron, type it in there in the comments. Tell us what happened, bro. Why did you get kicked out? She started a fight with somebody? Did you get obnoxious? Was she drinking? Because she don't drink, right?
Christine?
She don't drink much, does she?
Not while she's training. She won't.
Yeah,
she will, but not while she's training.
But I think I remember even a couple post-fight interactions. Well, Aaron, yep. What does yep mean? Tell me what happened. I said, tell me what happened. I get an answer. I get yep. It's like talking to a fighter who doesn't know how to do an interview. Hey, how do you feel about that win? Great.
God almighty. We've all been there.
Oh, we've all been there. We'll all continue to be there. All right, so let's see.
So how was your training leading up to the fight?
Here we go. What'd you say?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you just. Oh,
I just because like, how was your training leading up to the fight? It was good.
Yeah.
She tried to go at Britain. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and then your wife tried to stop the cops. Who's your wife?
Oh shit.
This is great shit right here we're getting, dude. Insider information. Aaron, type out a longer comment answer. So she went at Britain, and you're leaving me like. It's like almost busting, but not quite.
I'll have to send I'll send Fiera a message like, yo, what happened?
Yeah, I could probably message her. She unfriended me on Facebook because I said I think that fucking page could, and because anybody can beat anybody on every given night. You know what I'm saying? And so I was doing a show one night, and I said, all these girls should take Paige seriously because she's not some rookie, first fight ever. She's been to the UFC. She's fought some top girls. She's not afraid to get punched or cut up. So I said that I felt, that, the same way any of these girls could beat Paige, Paige could beat any of these girls. Christine got upset with me. Unfriended me. Oh, well, shit happens. It's not personal. It's just business. Oh, he says his replies are delayed. So, yeah, type me a long word answer because me and Josh are sitting here. We got to know what's going on, man. She went after Britain, though. He goes, it was crazy, man. I didn't get the whole story, but it was right there when it happened.
I mean,
when it happened. How do you not know the story? Aaron, you're killing me. You're a terrible.
I mean, I know on social media, they were going at each other hard like the last few weeks, like really fucking hard. I know that. And you could go back. People can go back and look if it's still up. I don't know if the post is still up or not.
I didn't see any of that heat.
I did, yeah. Like they were going at each other pretty hard. So like I don't, people. If it's still up, go back and read it. I'm not I didn't memorize the shit, but
I put up, the results of the fights. Arnold Adams just loved coming up next, and he loved that Arnold defeats Bobo first round KO. That little heart right there, see, that's Arnold. That little heart. No one that liked that comment. He liked it. He talked about it. Gonna try to get him on the show next week too. He did a phenomenal. I tried to get him on ahead of time, but I think he was really focused on the camp, and he didn't want to do any interviews. And I'm cool with that, man. Fucking that's the way it works. So in his opinion, he said she just got a little crunk and she got booted out of the building.
Wow.
For getting in Britain's face and all that stuff and nuts. See, the fight within the fight. I mean, sometimes we miss these. This is why I got to be at events more. Sometimes it's hard, because
life.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'd be at every. How come you're not at the show, man? Because, man, I have a full-time fucking job. I trust me, I would be at every fucking tryout, every press conference, every weigh-in, trust me.
I'd be there for everything, and I've done a pretty good job with BKFC trying to attend as many events as possible. And I've been fortunate that I've been able to work it out. So this one, I'm actually supposed to be in my regular job right now, but because of family stuff I got going on, I couldn't go to work tonight because I fly out early. Aaron Rutledge said the Mississippi cops are dicks.
I can see that.
Well,
I should be the next two events. I should be pretty solid for Alabama and then Florida in May. I should be good for those.
I'm going to try to make both of those. So, well, Mr. Joshua Fers, as always, it's a pleasure to talk. It's been so long since we've been on the show together. So I'll hit you on the comeback when you're doing your own show. You understand what that means, right?
What?
I said, next time you're doing your own broadcast and you want me to come in, I owe you one. But you know what that means. So
I understand.
But thank you for taking the time, man. Oh, and also, just in case anybody else hasn't told you in a while or ever, thank you for doing the Knucklepedia stuff and keeping the stats and everything updated, dude, because nobody else was doing it. And it's information we need. I look at that stuff, fairly regularly to kind of keep an idea of, this, that, and the other thing. So appreciate you doing it, man, because nobody, it's a dirty job being setting
Appreciate you saying that.
setting up a database and then having to keep it updated, which you do, is fucking nuts.
Especially literally from scratch, like, you know, the guys over at Box Rec, hats off to them. You know, I'm like, now I'm sure it's not that hard, but you know, I can only imagine, you know, him building up that database, especially at first, you know, building it from the ground up.
What about
Holy fuck.
and fucking all these other
Well, because there's really no, you know, there really isn't a there's no fucking to-do booklet. There's no handbook on this shit. So like in terms of how it looks visually and how it works on the back end, which is even the harder part, trying to figure out, okay, how the fuck do we do this so it shows up here and shows up there, shows up here?
Maybe you should book about it, dude.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. It's a labor of love.
Because nobody paying you for that shit.
Hell no, ain't nobody paying shit.
Oh man, the life we lead and things we do that we do for love, that we'd love to get paid for, but you know, it is what it is. So you got anything exciting coming up? Any articles that you're gonna be dropping it? Oh, excuse me, anything that's gonna a big story or big opinion piece that you're working on before you jump out? Give your
no, you know what? Just I
some props,
Yeah, well, I got a couple things in the works. I'm going to be leading it in a couple different directions, and I'll go more into detail probably in the coming weeks here. I'm kind of changing a couple things up, but I don't want to spoil that. But just for the people, I know some people have reached out to me. I haven't been as active on social media and stuff as of late, but it doesn't mean I'm not here. I'm here doing shit on the back end in the fucking shadows, trying to get stuff done and kind of changing stuff around. So I am still here. I know if you're not on Facebook, you're not relevant anymore or whatever the fuck it is, but I'm still fucking here. I'm here. I see everything. I hear everything. I'm here. I haven't gone nowhere. Just working on the site. Like I said, knucklepedia.com. There's a couple imitators popped up on the scene, but man, we're fucking trying. And I appreciate anybody who's ever, checked out the page or an interview or whatever. Appreciate you. Appreciate Chris for having me on. We
thank you for coming on.
We're a tight knit, especially the bare knuckle community, very small, very tight knit, community. So, appreciate you, man. Appreciate everything you do, bud. So
yeah. About the beginning of this bare knuckle thing, you and I, and Eric Cole, with my MMA.
Oh yeah.
Confused with my site, my MMA show. The three of us are probably putting out the most bare knuckle coverage out there. What I like about David Feldman is he's loyal. He sees us that are out there grinding and pushing his product. So even when we get really, really huge, we'll probably be able to still get media passes. We're not ESPN. We're not fucking MMA Junkie. We're not USA Today. We're not any of those big companies. But, we're riding with these guys because we believed in it from jump. So we'll continue to cover it. It's our own little, group of us. I said they're really covering. Joe Miggs shows up sometimes. MMA Uncensored shows up sometimes. So there's been a few, but you, me, and Eric, as far as coverage, getting interviews out, whether it's video or print, I think we are providing the most coverage of any other groups out there, and sites out there. So I'm proud of that, man, because we saw something, we understood, and we're going to keep pushing it. It's good stuff. But Josh, thank you for taking the time tonight. Appreciate it. Appreciate, like I said, the work you do. And, keep that Knucklepedia site updated. If you're going to punch, go up to the camera, dude.
Dude, my camera's like up at an angle. So like it doesn't look like it on the screen, but I actually have to like punch up and over. It's like a weird fucking angle. So
what's in your hand?
Oh, I fucking fidget. It's just something like a little fucking fidget thing. That's all. Like I've got a pin here. You can't see it because my hands are like out of the swing, but like I'm always like fucking with a pin. Like, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
I always do it.
Check that out. Because look, see that?
I see it. Yeah.
But when I bring it down here, it's green cap. But when I bring it up here, it's laid out. It's fucking awesome. Anyway, guys, like I said, Combat Insiders, Josh also covers MMA. And he does a fine job. So make sure you follow him on his site, Combat Insiders or Knucklepedia. They're both affiliated subsidiaries of one another, if you will. Josh does a good job on the show, puts up some good interviews as well. And that's it. Josh, thanks again for taking time in. We will see you again next time. Mwah, right back at you, big baby boy. I'd pinch your cheek if I was there.
All right, man. Peace out.
All right, be good, man. Boy, that was Josh Fers. We're going to head out. Thanks for taking the time to join us tonight. Thanks to my guests, Brian Maxwell, Josh Fers of Combat Insiders Knucklepedia, and, of course, the president of BKFC, who jumped in on a surprise, Mr. David Feldman. Didn't know if he was coming. He showed up. Appreciate you. I know his phone probably died or, he lost signal because I've been in that arena, and sometimes the signal is sketchy. Shit happens. But thanks for everybody. I hope you tuned in. Hope you had a lot of fun. We will catch you guys next time on KTO Christopher James. I probably won't be on the air this week, maybe Thursday. I'm not sure yet, so we'll keep that going. For those of you that know what's going on, thank you for the thoughts and prayers. I appreciate you all. And that's it. So, boys and girls, we are out of here. Until next time, I am Christopher James. And as I said, you guys being here, let me be a part of your life, and you being a part of mine means the world to me. Until next time, I am Christopher James. Y'all been Cape Side. Peace out, my friends. Good night.
What happens if you lose, Nick?
Who the hell's Aquaman?
I get Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Pebbles, I get sausage biscuits. Maybe you guys will see a little footage of that later on because we got some good stuff.
Philip Caduceus. There you go, baby.